Yo, my people, Unruly Gooner here, back with a match reaction after the Villarreal game. And we're listening to Reason and chat, man, because boy, it's been a mad day and a half, obviously, which is Saturday today, so it's been a mad day and a half. But we're gonna reflect, man. We're gonna talk about this game, talk about the management and where we are going forward as a club, man, and what we think should happen. Yeah, man, I've got the gang with me today. Mess, I've got Stricter with me. You, man, big up yourself. Everyone watching, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the socials. Obviously, Unruly Gooner on Instagram and Unruly Gooner channel on YouTube. You get me? But yeah, you, man, boy, come like the season's done now for us. Season's done, bro. You get me? That was our massive game on Thursday night there. And yeah, man, we went out of a whimper, bro. Went out of a whimper. You get me? Obviously, I spoke to you, man, offline already. And yeah, the thoughts and feelings, it's real, man. And it's echo that of a lot of Arsenal fans right now, innit? And the team is in a bad place, man. And it's mad, fam. You, man, talk to me, man. What you saying?
Yeah, but yeah, to me, I just think that it's. I think what we were trying to do is we were trying to like paper over cracks with sneaking into the Champions League. Let's be real, or winning a trophy out of what has been ultimately a terrible season from start to finish. When you look at it from the transfer window, where I think we left the whole Partey situation too late, how he treated Guendouzi and Saliba, and then the Ozil situation where you had Ozil basically in exile, even though we needed an attacking midfielder for the first half of the season. How he had Saliba on loan, but not on loan, basically in the team, then wanted to put him on loan, then doesn't, then leaves him out the team completely. From the start of the season where we looked completely inept, couldn't create chances, couldn't do anything, lost all of these home games, had a little upturn in the middle of the season, and then have basically gone back to the beginning. All of the flipping red cards, the mistakes, that it's just been ridiculous, fam. Like, and my thing is, more than anything, I think that throughout the season, there's been different situations that Arteta's just shown how incompetent he is, in my opinion, as a manager. I think as a coach, I think tactically has a lot of qualities in terms of maybe coaching and some of his tactical ideas. Yeah. I think just in terms of actually managing a team and getting this team to be better than what the sum of their parts, or better than they are, I just think that he's incompetent and he's incapable of doing that. At this moment, maybe he'll get better, but at this moment, I don't think that he's the person that can lead the club forward. And I think that all of that came to a head in the game on Thursday. You look at the way that we started the game, and to be honest, not even just the game on Thursday. I think from the first leg, when you look at the way he set up in the first leg, so negative, so like void of ideas, and then you look at then how he came into this game, so scared, looking like let's not concede rather than going for the game. We should have been looking at that game thinking we need to win 3-0. If we win 3-0, they're not going to score 2 goals at the Emerys. We win 3-0, it doesn't matter what they do. Let's go and attack them. We look scared. We look like, let's hopefully hold, and then maybe we'll nick one. How can you be going into the biggest game of the season like that? It just doesn't make sense. And I just think it just sums up what he is.
You know what's mad though, yeah? It's mad because even like looking at the lineup that you picked here, I thought that he was gonna go out to attack, because obviously he went with a 4-1-4-1 formation in. So, and the 4 in midfield were all attack-minded midfielders: Saka, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, and Pepe. And then Aubameyang up front. So I'm thinking, he knows that he has to go and get a goal here. He's going for it from the get-go. But then the approach was this mad, like it was far from that. You get me? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just think he's risk adverse. And I think that what he did is that he just thought, if I just put these attacking players, but it didn't look like there was a plan behind it. It looked like if I put all these attacking players in the team, then hopefully something will happen. But when you look at it, we've never played that way. Well, we haven't played that way this season. The players look like we'd never played that way this season. And ultimately, we had no balance in midfield. All it meant was Partey was overrun. The Smith Rowe and Odegaard were going so wide that I don't know what type of space that they were trying to create. Obviously, I had the wingers not really joining the front line. So even when we went wide, You look in the box, it'd only be Aubameyang, maybe one of them in the
Mhm.
box. And you think of all the attacking players we've got on the pitch at the same time, it just didn't make no sense. I'm just thinking, what are you doing in training? Like, what are you actually telling him? What are the instructions that he's giving them? Because all of those attacking players on the pitch, we should have done better than have
No,
one shot on target and create half chances.
100%. What about you, Stritch? What are you saying?
Bro, you already know my, like you said, we spoke offline. I've made it public. Like, I've supported Arteta. Might not be my choice, but I've had to support him because obviously you're Arsenal manager, so rightfully man's gonna support you. But when you look at like the obvious mistakes, and it's not even mistakes, it's ignorance, bro. Like you can see certain things aren't right. You can see, all right, for example, Teeny, for example, is back, right? But he still was insistent on having Xhaka play left back. And
I don't think Tierney was back fully though. To be fair.
He's not back fully, but he's our first choice left back. But if he's fit enough to be on the bench, he's fit enough to have an involvement from the beginning or in the or towards the end. But he's fit enough to be there, innit? And for me, for a game that you need to win, the fact that he would have overlooked Tierney over. So basically, what he's saying is, a fully fit Xhaka at left back is better than a half fit Tierney, who's a left back specialist. Don't make sense. You put him on in that case. Then don't put him in the squad. If he's not fully, don't put him in the squad. But it's things like that, and his hand was forced because Xhaka came off injured. And I kind of look at like what my man was just saying just now, like the Saliba situation, like his man management, like he really, really, really is telling. You know, like certain managers are able to manage better, like individuals. Like you're able to instill confidence. And I think with him, what he tends to do is destroy confidence. You look at like when Laka was on form, banging goals early in the season, and then you drop him. Laka, we all know, he's a confident. He plays based on confidence. Same with Pepe. Games where Pepe has done really well, and then you drop him again, and then now he's got to build again from the start. Things like that have contributed to where we are today. Obviously, he's not going to take the blame because we've been in decline for the last 5 years. Let's be real. It's not all down to Arteta. But I think Arteta has taken us to a new low.
Yeah. He did say that as well, you know that. He come out and said literally like people can say that that this is something that's happened over my tenure, but he said, I'll quote him, he said, "We have not been competing with the top clubs in this country for 5 years. It is not as if this process started 6 months ago. It started 5 years ago, and you can see this trend. This year is not year one. I think a project has its phases, and I am telling you, we are in a much better position today to be where we want to be very soon. If we do what we have to do, but we have to be ruthless, there's no time to waste." You get me?
Yeah,
bro, that all sounds beautiful. That sounds nice. That's to me political. That's politics. Though to a degree, I agree in the sense that the club has been in decline for a very long time, right? But of course, he's not gonna say, it's because of me we are where we are. But the truth is, we are where we are because of you and your intention.
I wouldn't agree with that though, man, because I hear what you're saying.
Bro, I don't even know where we are on the league table.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah.
I don't even look at it. I don't know where we are on the league table. The record defeats at home. That's his tenure. That wasn't Emery's. That wasn't Emery. Yeah. But this guy, we can't string 3-4 games of consistency at all. And I'm not talking about win, but even draws mixed with a couple wins or wins mixed with a couple draws. We can't seem to string anything together.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, bro, like Kroenke and them, man, yes, they're going to take a big percentage of the blame and in the decline. They're not football people, but the football people, Arteta and Edu, they're not doing what they're supposed to do or what they're expected to do. And that's the truth of it. We have declined so low, bro. Like, this is the lowest. I just told you, I don't even look at the table.
Yeah.
And not because of the position, but because there's no prospect of even saying, "Wow, what can we? Like, if we win this game, we're going to fifth, we're going to fourth."
Yeah.
There's no prospects of elevation, bro. So the table to me is useless.
Yeah. Well, we're 10th now. Leeds is one, innit? So we're 10th now.
Yeah, the 10th.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, and go
and
on,
what you
go
got to think, and what you got to think as well, And to me, I don't like. I think that's part of his inexperience, because even though there's some validity to what he's saying, or there's some I can take some of the point, like, you're basically passing the buck, in my opinion. And I don't like managers that do that. And he's done it a few times this year. He's blamed players, he's blamed situations, and now you're blaming 10 years before you. At the end of the day, you can only be in charge of what you've done. And the reality is, he's contributed to making the side worse. The side that the players that we have on loan, the players that we've had in the squad, the players that potentially he's misused or mismanaged, that's on his watch. Nobody's telling him that Pepe comes in against Leicester, creates a penalty, has the guy had to get subbed off at halftime because he looked like he was gonna cry, and he basically looked like he was gonna get sent off. He creates, he scores a goal and assist, and then you drop him the next game. That's you as a manager. And you drop him for the next 3 games. You drop him for the next 3 games. Guendouzi, I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. But you can make an argument that Guendouzi is better. He's definitely more talented than El Neni. You've decided for whatever reason you don't want to play him. You've put him on loan. That's on you. If now your midfield can't string 2 passes together, and you've got someone who's good at ball retention and carrying the ball forward, that's on you. You decided to do that and renew Ceballos' loan deal. Ceballos has made countless errors. You continue to play him. That's on you now. This is the thing. And so, as much as I understand what he's saying in regards to our decline, for one, we've never been this bad. Like, you've got to remember, this is the worst 2 finishes since Rioch. 95. We were probably in year 2 or year 3. This is the worst finishes, and they've both been under his tenure. Even last year, let's be real, the FA Cup.
You can't really give last year down to him.
No. But do you know why I do, though? Do you know why I do? Because he took over in December, bro, and we were 9th. Like, we gotta, and this is what I'm saying, we've got to just be honest. I'm not saying that he was completely all his fault, but I'm saying that he had enough time to move up more than 2 places. I think we were 1 point or 2 points off of. I think we were 2 or 3 points off of 5th, and we were about 6 points off of 4th when he first took over in December. We wasn't like, we were 17th and he brought us up to 8th. And then you look at this season.
The team was in a bad place, though. You got to remember. They remember every game we're getting peppered 30 shots on our goal.
Bro, 100%.
I think you got to divide. There's 2 entities here. Yeah, there's the team and then there's the club. Yeah, the club is definitely going down the drain. Like, the business of the club is down the drain. And then you've got the team, right? So he's not in charge of. Arteta's not in charge of the club. He's in charge of the team. That's why Kroenkes are there. Arteta's there. Yeah, Kroenkes are gonna get their blame for what they're doing.
Kind of. Remember, he got made into the manager.
So he's got more responsibility now.
He's got more responsibilities, but he can't release funds.
He makes important decisions behind the scenes.
Yeah, but he can point out what he wants, right? He can point out and make decisions. But I'm talking about the club in general. He's the business of the club. He can't run that. But in terms of the team, the squad, that is all on him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the decisions he's made, that is all on him.
Now, there's a lot of questionable decisions, but also,
bro, too many questionable.
There are.
I think more things are more questionable than they aren't. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
And I think like he's trying to pass the buck here now. He's trying to pass the buck. The team has never been this bad. Whatever Arteta is trying to do isn't working. The league positions show it. The knockout competitions show it. It's not working. We can't say, we see what you're doing. No, we're looking at the table. The table is what, at the end of the day, will tell you if what you're doing is right or wrong. If you're getting peppered 30 shots a game, but you're still coming through with a point, or you're doing a smash and grab, that's cool. Like, the league positions don't show that. you understand? But it shows when you're losing and you're not attacking. It's silly, bro. It's silly. And then like back to the Europa. Again, we've got a win, and he's almost set up for a smash and grab. Like in the end, we're waiting for a smash and grab at home. A team that we can beat 2-3-0 any other day.
But this is
what were you gonna say, React?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. At what point, yeah, obviously talking about Europa the other day about the Villarreal game. At what point do the players have to take some kind of responsibility as well, bro? Like, bro, remember it's a semi-final, a biggest game. This game's important for the club. It's important for some of these players' futures. Yeah, like, albeit like playing in Champions League, earning a new contract. Like, you get me? Like, so going forward, this is a massive game. Like, obviously, the manager, it's his job to G you up in that, but sometimes you got to look in the mirror and say, listen, I want this today. You know, I want to go out there and be better than my man. I want to go out there.
Who chose Ceballos? Who chose Ceballos in the first leg? These things are contributing.
I hear you.
Ceballos should be nowhere near the starting lineup or even in the squad. To be real, let's be real. That all went downhill from that decision, and obviously he's sent us back in that game. He's getting sent off. So now we're man like for how many minutes of the game? Do you know what I mean? And these decisions, bro. You look at the starting lineup, you're like, what is Ceballos doing in here?
Yeah,
he gets a yellow. You don't hold him off. He makes another challenge where the ref kind of gives him a blind. You still don't hold him off. These things they're so basic. Like he's so concentrated on being this tinkering man that sometimes I think he's missing a bigger picture.
No, I hear you.
Do you know what it is? I get what you're saying. In that. There, don't get me wrong. There has to be some sort of responsibility on the players. Like at the end of the day, they're in the game, and even if all the tactics in the world, he has to implement them. But we can only look at if this was an isolated game and they just wet the bed, they just completely froze up, and this was okay. I don't know what's happened in this game, but they've just flopped. They've just bottled it. Then I could kind of understand this. This has been something that's been symptomatic of the whole season. We don't create chances, and you hear him barking orders on the touchline, barking orders. And he doesn't look like a manager that allows players to express themselves. Like he looks like the players that are the most expressive in our team, he kind of restricts, if we're being real. He looks like he doesn't like the Pepes, he doesn't like the Martinellis, maybe because they don't always listen to the instructions that he gives. And maybe because he has a clear idea of what he wants to do, and they may go a little bit off the cuff, and he doesn't seem to like that. And this is like why I think he liked Willian at the start of the season, and he liked Willian because Willian will understand and he will listen and take everything that you say on board. The problem is he won't do anything that actually contributes to scoring. Like he won't actually create on his own but he'll keep the ball, he'll look after the ball, he'll recycle it well, he'll be in the positions that Arteta probably wants him in. But what does that actually do? It doesn't actually achieve. Like you look at Bruno, for example, at Man United. Bruno loses the ball so much. He does a lot of things that managers probably look at and wince. But what he does do is he creates chances and he scores goals because he takes risks. And Arteta, if you're so risk adverse, you're not going to get anywhere in this league, in my opinion. And I think although the players have to take accountability, we can also look at it and think, are they second guessing everything they're doing, thinking that Arteta's told me to do one thing. If I now do this and start to take it off myself, is he going to take me off? Is he going to haul me off? Is he going to?
I think that comes down to trust, because I think Arteta knows that he can't really trust all these players. So that's why I have to be on the sideline giving you all the.
No, to agree.
I think he's a sociopath.
A good example of what you're even saying is if you look at Leno, for example, you look at a few times where we all know Leno, ball at his feet ain't his thing. And a few times this season where it would have been better for him to go long. Like I remember the game, was it at Aston Villa? No. Was it Leicester?
No, Burnley.
Was it Burnley? So many times where he's had the ball at his feet. And this is clearly Arteta's instructions. So Arteta trusts him enough to tell him, pass it out. And a few times, Leno's made the wrong decisions, or he's passed it short, and we've been caught out. And goal with conceded goals, and yet he's still insisting that we carry on doing this.
Yeah, but I'm for that. I'm here for that.
So in a sense, yes, the players, of course, they're the ones on the pitch. But if a man is listening strictly to what his boss is saying and he's not capable to do it, the team's gonna fall.
But you're a big man at the same time. Yeah. You're a big man and you're a seasoned professional. So obviously, listen, we've all played football, innit? We know that.
Footballers, but you know what you're good at. You know what you're good at. There's some things you just cannot change. When you get to a certain age, there's just some things you just cannot add to your game. You can improve certain things, but there's just some things you just cannot add to your game. Do you understand? You can't get Leno passing out from the back. Like a team like Man City would have got rid of Joe Hart. As good as a keeper he was at the time, they got rid of him because he's not comfortable with the ball at his feet. Do you get? That's how you solve that. You don't just keep what conceding goals. It's not even like these errors are just leading to are just leading to nothing. They lead into us losing games. But he's so insistent that we keep doing this.
The thing is, I don't even think Leno is bad on the ball. I think he's actually a decent keeper at his feet. The problem is that, for one, it looks like he takes risks. Sometimes there's risks that he takes that I don't think he needs to. And I think there needs to be a bit more variety in our play. That sometimes he does need to just go long. Not because, long with a purpose. Like Ederson, obviously he's not as good. He's not as good in terms of delivery as Ederson.
Bro, don't even put them names together.
No, but what I'm saying is that the fact that Ederson can go long like that, it means that they second guess when they press sometimes. And that's all I mean, is that sometimes going long means that they're not always going to press, because there's going to be a thought in their mind that if we all go short and we squeeze them and then he clips it over, then we're in trouble as well. So I think what it is more than the fact that we need to play from the back. Playing from the back's fine. I just think there needs to be a bit more of a variety.
Yeah. And Arteta stressed that. Mix it up. He says to them, analyze the situation, know when to play from the back. And that's what I'm trying to say. If I've given you that instruction, it's then down to you as an individual to carry that out. I'm not there. I'm not there on the pitch doing that. If in that instant, that's because he's made the wrong decision, not Arteta.
Yeah. I agree with that.
100%,
but what I would say is in the fact that like you said, obviously you said, he probably don't trust his players. At the end of the day, there's got to be a time that he has to show the trust in them if they're trying to execute what he's doing, for them to be able to do it to the best of their ability. Because the reality is now, you're not getting the best out of these players. And what managers have to do, the good coaches, when it gets to the point where, okay, do you know what? They can't do what I'm asking. So we have to slightly adapt. Let me try and play to your strengths to a degree to allow you to get the best out of you. And people can't die on a system to the point where it's to the detriment of the team as a manager. I don't think good coaches can do that. And obviously some good coaches, they'll get to a stage where, do you know what? They can't execute exactly what I want. And to be honest, that's what I thought he would do. And that's what I thought he was when we went free at the back. I thought, what? We can't implement what he's going to do. Let's go free at the back and let's try and do something. But when you've now come to and play 4 at the back now, you want to play 4 at the back, you're rigid with that 4 at the back, and you've got a way that you want them to play. To me, you've shown that you have an element of trust in the players that you have to carry out what you're doing. So then at some point, we have to start looking at you and saying, what are the instructions you're giving? And why are you not getting the best out of these players? Because we can't, as bad as some of our players are, bro, Pepe, Saka, Aubameyang as a front three, Lacazette, Martinelli, and Willian as your second string of front three is not a side that shouldn't be creating any chances. They may not all be the worldies that everyone thinks they are. Some people may think some of them are overrated, but they're nowhere near as bad. They're not worse than Antonio, Lingard, and Bowen. No way. No way. So we shouldn't be creating as little as we're creating, especially when it's 0-0 and all we got to do is score 1 goal. And that's what my problem is ultimately we can look at all of these things and we can put the blame on the players, which I agree with to an extent. But when it's all said and done, it's a manager's job or a coach's job to get the best out of the players that you're getting. And we're not ninth. We're not the 9th best squad in the league. And we're not, and on paper, we shouldn't lose to Villarreal based on the players, player for player. How many of the Villarreal players will get into our team? like just on paper. So there's got to be something wrong there.
Yeah,
Huh?
no, I hear what you said. I said
But
more than
how many though? But how many though? Pau Torres,
about 3.
Torres. Would you take Chukwueze ahead of Saka? I wouldn't. Gerard Moreno, possibly, but who are you going to take out?
I think that you that come on. I liked him still.
Pino.
Jeremy? Was it Pino?
Yeah, Jeremy Pino.
Yeah,
he looked tidy, but he's a young buck. He's techie and he's technically good and whatever, and he'll probably have a decent career. But you're not taking him over, like you know, Saka's his same age.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know, in their midfield, who are you going to take?
Realistically, you're right. Realistically, like if you look at the teams, minus the Uniteds, the Cities, Liverpool and Chelsea's. Like if you look at the other teams that are ahead of us, like they're attacking wise, they're not better than us. They ain't got better players than us.
Yeah, but it's not just about attacking, isn't it? It's not about attacking. It's about a team and a system.
But whatever you want to look at, whichever way you want to look at it, whether you want to look at attacking or you want to look at defense, they're not better than us.
I disagree.
Whichever way you want to look at it.
Leeds and Leicester have a better system than us, and therefore.
Yeah, but who integrates the system?
Because of players.
The manager has been there for a while to have enough time to integrate the system.
No, I disagree. I disagree. Tuchel's been.
Yeah, you could like bro. Whichever way you slice it, the bed of it all. Yeah, this guy is inexperienced.
Yeah,
he has nothing to draw back from.
But we knew that. He's inexperienced. We knew he was inexperienced, but we knew what we was getting when we got him.
No, but some people thought because he was Pep's assistant.
Why would you think that?
For some reason, Pep's tenacity or whatever it is rubbed off on him. Bro,
that's a silly assumption. That's a silly assumption.
You could have got the flipping chef, and put him there, bro. It would have been the same outcome.
That's not saying because Carlos Queiroz has been with Alex Ferguson all these years. Carlos Queiroz is going to be the next biggest manager in the world. It doesn't always work like that, bro.
Yeah, but my
that was the way behind him coming here. Believe it or not, as mad as that doesn't work here, that was a lot of the weight that he carried. Like that was on his favor. Like, oh yeah, he's worked with Pep, or he improved Sane, or he improved.
That's what the fans are saying.
Improved Sterling. All of those
my
factors,
thing is going on.
All of those factors, yeah, people did look at that and thought, do you know what? It's not a bad idea. Coupled with the fact he was an ex-Arsenal player, ex-Arsenal captain. All these things, people put it together and thought, yeah, this is gonna work.
So my thing was more. All of those things were what a lot of those things the fans has gassed up and maybe rationale into why we picked him. However, I'm not judging him based on his experience. I'm judging him based on the fact that he's Arsenal manager, and ultimately, his experience and whatever, that's on the board. If they decide to take a risk on someone with no experience and no actual prior history as being a coach that's led a team that as big as Arsenal for one, or anyone, that's on the board. But that's neither here nor there because he didn't. That's not his fault that they've picked him. But I'm judging him based on being Arsenal manager.
On his performance as a manager.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I can put all of these things as he's a new manager. He's learning his system. He's learning as he goes, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, for us, that I don't really care about that. All I want is the best for the team. I wanted for the best of the team. And at the end of the day,
you're not given the tools to do the job. That's
but my thing is, you still got to get the best out of the tools that you have, and he hasn't done that. If you're only a manager,
he did.
No, I don't agree though. I don't agree. Like I don't think we were the 8th best team last year, and I think that at the end of the day, but the FA Cup, while that was good and while that we needed to win a trophy, and that was excellent given the circumstances, in the league he had more than ample opportunity to get us into Europe via the league. We weren't that far off of Europe when he took over. To the point where now he finished 8th. So I don't look at that because if
man forget during that time a lot happened, bro. The whole league, the whole league comes to shut down.
Yeah, and this is the thing. And I gave him those allowances, and I said, do you know what? That's fair enough. The fact that you didn't have the league, obviously Corona, the fact that you didn't have as much time to coaching and all of that stuff. But the same way that we praised him for winning the FA Cup, despite all of those circumstances, we can also look at the fact that, okay, well, there are some things that you could have done better, but we give you the benefit of the doubt because ultimately you won us a trophy in difficult circumstances. But this season, Everyone has all of those excuses. Every other team doesn't have time to train. No other team had pre-season. Other teams made signings. Bro, we made signings. We didn't just come with the same team. We did make signings. We bought Gabriel. We bought Partey. We kept three. Like, we did make signings. Like, we can't say we didn't.
Sign free players.
Bro, some clubs didn't sign. Some clubs that are better than us didn't sign to players with the same profile that we did. We can't just keep. Bro, the reality is we still sign players, bro. We still sign them, and they were still in our squad, and we still have a squad that is better than what we're currently doing. Like, we can't. We're not the 9th best team. Is our squad better than? Is our squad worse than West Ham's? No. And at the end of the day, you talk about Leeds saying that Leeds have a better system. I completely agree, but that's down to the manager. That's down to the manager. That's down to the manager.
5 years. He's been there for 4 years. He's been there for like 4 years.
But then this is why you talk about the experience.
You could talk about time, not experience.
But this is why you talk about the experience.
Nah, but other managers have come in. Other managers have come in and have given more in the time than he has. Let's just be honest. David Moyes. David Moyes has come in. He came in around the same time as Arteta, and he is currently now in 5th or whatever, and Arteta is in 9th with a worse squad. That's the reality. I don't like Moyes as a manager. I wouldn't want it, but that's just the reality.
Moyes was there before.
Yeah, but then you can also look at there's Ancelotti. You could look at there's a lot of other managers that have come in and have done better given the time and the circumstances than what Arteta has done. It's just a fact, bro.
Funds. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, there's so many factors.
But bro,
at some point, who did Everton sign?
James Rodriguez, Allen,
on a free.
No, they signed players, but we did as well.
They spent big. Messi,
they signed players, but so did we, though. So did we, though. So did we.
Willian, Partey's been injured for the whole season. Partey's been injured yet.
Hold on.
Willian hasn't hit the ground. And Gabriel's been indifferent. Like, come on, that's the only 3 players we signed.
We signed Willian. Okay, we signed Willian. We signed Gabriel. We signed Partey. We got Ceballos back on loan. We had Cedric, Mari, Ødegaard that have all come in his tenure. That's just his tenure. So that bro, there's enough players. And also, given the fact that you had Saliba back and you chose not to use him, you had Torreira in the squad, you had Guendouzi in the squad, you've had Mavropanos in the squad, then you've chosen not to use. All of these players he's chosen not to take. You've taken Willock and Maitland-Niles in January. These are all decisions that he's decided. Bro, at some point, you can't just keep looking at the players, and you've got to look at, is he getting the best out of those players? No, they're playing worse.
Not good enough. That's why they're not there.
Okay, but is our squad the 10th best squad in the league?
No, but is Liverpool's the 7th best squad in the league?
But Liverpool won the league,
bro,
with that squad.
No. But even though Liverpool's is not the best squad in the league, but at the end of the day, ours is. But that doesn't mean.
But Liverpool's an anomaly. Like I said to you last time, it's an anomaly what they're going through this season. It's not. That will not happen next season.
You don't know that, bro.
That will not happen next season. I tell you what I know.
I doubt it.
We'll probably finish 9th again, or 10th, or 11th next season.
I don't believe so.
Where do you think we'll finish next season?
Well,
this manager, this current squad.
It depends based on, again, it's all down to recruitment, bro. Like I said to you, the players that we have right now, the tools we have,
we've recruited, bro.
Are not good enough. No, good enough. They weren't good enough for Wenger. They weren't good enough for Emery. And guess what? Surprise, they're still not good enough for Arteta. He's working with the same players, the same players that Wenger had, bro. And they weren't good enough then. So why do you think they're good enough now?
But some of them ain't though. Some of them ain't though.
There's only
you look at the
majority.
I would say it's half and half now, to be honest. You look at it. Leno wasn't there. Tierney wasn't there. Gabriel wasn't there. Luiz wasn't there. Mari wasn't there. Cedric wasn't there. Partey wasn't there. No, from Wenger. You said from Wenger it's most of the same squad. But our squad's completely different. And even from Emery,
Odin, Bellerin, Aubameyang.
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, but I'm talking about from Emery. Yeah, I can understand that. But you could also say that Emery got them 5th. We were 5th under Emery, and I didn't like Emery. And when he left, I felt like we were going on a downward spiral. But he got us 5th. And so with those same players, or the majority of the same team, we finished 5th and we got to the final of the Europa League. That's the reality, bro.
Fifth was a failure. Fifth was a
Fifth
failure.
was a failure.
So what's
Fifth was a
ninth then?
failure. But
No,
ninth
but
is
you
what then?
understand. You got to understand from where we
But
was
what's
here.
ninth? How can you,
Listen,
bro? How
we had
can you
top four sewing up. We had top four sewing up. He
But how
dashed
can,
straight
but
top
how
four.
can you give
Yeah,
how can you
100%.
give Arteta so much room for error, yeah, but not give Emery room for error? Or do you know what I mean? I don't understand. What,
Bro, I
what
think, do you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Shukto? I think with Emery, I think the pattern, like we didn't look like we had a clue. He looked like he didn't, like we was chopping and changing so much.
Clueless,
And
bro.
to me, he threw away top four in that we had 8 games and we had the easiest running by far,
Clueless.
and we blew it. But
And the cup final.
and the cup final we blew. But what you can't say is he still got 5th, and Arteta is still 10th. And at the end of the day, Arteta has done similar things as Emery. I think we're a bit more structured in organized defensively, but we don't create anywhere near the same chances as we did under Emery. We don't look anywhere near scoring as many goals.
Yeah,
and bro, the team and it's tough
there.
No, but Emery didn't play Özil all the time.
Emery
Come
didn't
on,
play
bro.
Özil
Emery
either.
was Özil was in the bench a lot, bro. Özil was
Yeah,
on the bench,
Emery-
bro. The
Emery
main
didn't play
issue.
Özil either.
Remember when Arteta came in, Arteta played Özil the first 10 games. Before that, Özil hadn't played for ages.
Yeah.
Emery was also the reason why he let Ramsey go on a free. He didn't want Ramsey to stay. Who knows if that would have been one of the most contributing factors. I never loved Ramsey that much anyway. But bro, looking at the way the season's gone, bro, maybe it was something that we was missing, bro, that we didn't take, that we took for granted. But the reality is, bro, as much as I didn't like Emery, I can't look at Arteta and think that what he's doing is any better. I think that he has time, but the reality is Emery could have said the same thing. Given time, he would have been able to turn it around. The reality is we're 10th and we look good for 10th. We've never been 5th, 4th in the league, and we've had a bad set of form. We look terrible. Terrible. And bro, there's been enough of a sample size now to look at it and think maybe he's just not right for the job. I don't care about because the players. I just think I look at other managers and I think they would be getting better out of these players, bro. Aubameyang wouldn't have scored 10 goals or the amount of goals that he scored.
That's
looking at his record.
Looking
at his record, I can't say that because everywhere else he scored under every other manager he scored though, bro.
But he's missing goals.
How can it be down to
goals
him?
and that.
Yeah, but how many chances is he getting per game? If you look at his chances per game under Arteta, it's probably the lowest in his career.
And plus, we all know he needs plenty of chances to bang. So if you're limiting him to less chances, do you know what I'm saying?
Bro, look at strikers' conversion rate per chances. Any striker in the world, it's about 20 to 25. The top strikers is about 20 to 25%. So if you're getting 2 chances a game, you're not going to score that many goals. That's just fact. Like look at Lewandowski now. He gets about 8 chances a game, bro. And he might score a hat-trick, but he's getting loads of chances. I'm not saying Aubameyang, and obviously everyone has their opinion on Aubameyang or whatever. Some people don't feel him, some people do. But what you can't argue about Aubameyang is in his career he's been prolific. He's been prolific. And this is the only season where he looks like he ain't been close to scoring goals.
Okay. What? And do you think that's solely down to Arteta?
I think it's mainly down to Arteta. Me personally, I think it's the structure. I think it's the structure that the team play in. I think it's mainly that because at the end of the day, I don't think he puts us in position to get a lot of chances. Because you will look at the chances. If we created a lot of chances and we missed, then fair enough. But we don't.
Why has Laka been scoring it?
But Laka's, how many goals has Laka scored? 15 in all competitions. Bro, that's not a lot of goals. If your top goal scorer scored 15 in all competitions, that's not great.
Game time.
That's not great.
You got to remember. That's 15
in game time.
Without playing every game either.
Game time.
But bro, we can also just look at the whole squad and say the goals that we scored under Arteta as a team are way lower than it was under
100%.
And under Wenger. So at the end of the day, you've just got to look at the whole team and say we're not scoring enough goals. It's just like
that's been our problem now, though.
I'm looking at the tape. I'm looking at the tape.
That's been our problem for a very long while. It's been our problem. Even back to even when Wenger was there. Like the only midfielder that used to score goals for us was Ramsey. Really, that's it.
But we still used to score way more goals than we do now, though, bro. We were. Let's be real. We were spoiled in that we didn't accept top 4 as something that we really wanted because we wanted to win higher trophies. But the reality is, bro, up until the last 2 years, Wenger got us top 4 comfortably every year, and also
Yeah,
even
the league's got better
the
since then,
second to
innit?
last one. Huh?
The league's got
I
better
don't
since
think
then, innit?
the league's got better, but also at the same time, I think he was a better manager, and I think it was right for him to go at the time. But he was just a better manager, and I think that ultimately, one thing you can say about Wenger, he used to get the best out of a lot of players. He did.
Yeah,
He got the best out of a lot of players, and the reality is, I just don't think Arteta's getting the best out of players. And the system that he wants to use, and it's the system that he wants to use. If it is that it will only work when he has better players, then bro, maybe you have to work on a different system. You can get the best out of the players that you have until you've got the players that you want, and that's what I think he's not doing. Everyone
yeah,
can be. I don't think Pep comes into this team and solves all the problems. But what I would hope is that eventually, at some point, he would look at it and say, "I've got to change the way I'm playing if these players can't do what I want to do," and that's what we're not doing.
yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. I don't know. It's a tough one, bro. It's one of the ones where
That's an easy one. You're making it tough.
I get all the argument for him to go, but I also know that the problem is bigger than him, innit? You get me?
Nah,
Yeah, I agree.
100% is bigger. 100% is bigger than it. Like I said, the club itself, like it's on a decline. And then,
Yeah,
ultimately, if the club's on a decline, the team will also be on a decline as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Because if there's no structure, it affects the whole house. Do you get it?
Yeah, 100.
But here's the question now. I think we were saying on my live the other day. I don't think I got your answer, you know. How do you rate Arteta's season?
Say again?
Like, remember on the live the other day?
Yeah.
Talking about how where would you rate Arteta's season?
No, I rated him. Remember, I said that he gets about, for me,
Oh, no, you said 5.
5 out of 10.
Five,
Yeah.
innit? Yeah. All right, cool.
5 out of 10.
Yeah. I forgot you said that.
Yeah,
So, Mess, where would you rate Arteta's season?
2.
2. That's fair.
Bro, we're 10th, bro. Like,
That's fair.
We haven't been 10th since 95.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah. We was out of the FA Cup early.
I just believe that based on what's happened this season, obviously everything's going to happen in COVID era, cool. Even back to January, I think January was key. I think all that mess that you had to sort out, these are all things that affect what you can do with the team.
Yeah.
So getting out like Kolasinac, Mustafi, the Ozil situation got dealt with. Socrates went, and bro, those 4 players alone freed up about 700 grand worth of budget there. You get me?
Yeah.
So all this is going to benefit going into the summer. So they're off the wage bill. So in that sense, it's a healthier financial wage bill. The Ozil situation is put to bed, which lifts that Ozil cloud. I think going into the summer now is going to be massive in terms of who stays, who goes. Even players like Willock that's on loan doing well, Maitland-Niles doing well. Do you cash in on these players now, or do you see them as a future to try and build from? I think there's going to be important decisions to be made, and I think the summer is going to be key. I think a lot of players will go, and there's going to be a massive overhaul, because I heard him even talking about other teams that this has happened to where they haven't been in Europe. It's given them that base, and they've been very aggressive where they've gone and attacked the market, done what they need to do to be able to capitalize on not being in Europe, be having that one game, and then going for the juggler and then getting back to competing. So the fact that he's saying that, the fact that there's a lot of pressure on the owners right now, Kroenke and them not to spend or to leave or to sell. You know what I'm saying? I think this summer's going to be pivotal. I think it's going to be a massive summer.
But then my thing is, though, do you trust the people in position to actually execute it? And that's my issue. And I don't trust Vinay. I don't trust Edu, and I don't trust Arteta to make the correct decisions. I think our scouting system, it clearly has to improve, in my opinion, because ultimately all of these bad players have been bought by our team. I feel like when you look at some of the players that we've bought recently, or that we've kept around recently, they haven't been at the quality that we require ultimately. And there's other teams. You look at Lille with Campos, the director of football there. You look at Sevilla with Monchi. You look at Overmars at Ajax. You look at Leipzig, Dortmund. These guys are finding gems consistently. Salzburg, like, why is it that these guys are able to scout these players. Are they scouting them and deciding against them? Are they scouting them and we're just not finding them? There's got to be some answers that we need to work
And
out.
that
And I
was our
thought
bread
that
and butter. That was our bread and butter.
And I thought that Edu was going to at least be in a position to look at the Brazilian market and start to unearth some of these Martinellis and these gems. Potentially, this is all I'm saying, is that I thought that he would be able to. So far, I haven't seen that, apart from Mari, which I think's been a decent signing overall. And Martinelli was kind of done before his tenure, but they said he had something to do with it. I don't know. But what my main concern is that I don't see I don't see evidence that Edu is going to be able to undertake what we need to happen in order to get the best out of this wage bill, that deficit that we've taken off. And that's my biggest concern. And that's the thing what I hate about the Kroenkes more than transfer budgets and all of that, because if you look at over the last 5 years, Kroenkes have actually spent money. They put their money in last year, this year to buy Partey. So I'm not saying that they've put enough in, but they have put money in. My main issue with the Kroenkes is that they've left idiots to run the asylum, and they don't have a clue about football. So that's why they just listen to whoever they listen to and just say, look, you lot deal with it. I don't really care, because we're over here and we just as long as the money comes in, I don't business. And whoever runs it. And that's my main concern. Will these people be good enough to undertake what we need to happen? Because if not, it could just be another 3 years. And the Willian situation makes me look at it and think we may just make other bad decisions for another 3 years. Like now, Lacazette, what do we do with his contract? Do we give him a new deal? Because I wouldn't, personally, when he's 29 and he's probably going to want 200 bags a week. What do we do with Bellerin? He looks like he's going to go, but do we give him a new deal? Do we give Xhaka a new deal? Like, there's a lot of deals now, that because it's not just the ones that we've done, it's the ones to come still. Leno, there's whispers. Lacazette, Bellerin, all on decent money. What are we going to do with them? You look at it now, Aubameyang, Willian are going to be here for another 2 years at least. And they're both on Aubameyang's on, I don't even know what that sliding scale is. It looks like it's 300 grand a week, but probably because we ain't got in Europe, it's going to go down. But Willian's on 200 bangs a week. What are we going to do? Are we going to, and these are the things. It's like, do we trust these guys? And that's my biggest issue.
And I think I agree with everything you say, bro. Like I said, the Kroenkes are not football. They're not football people. They're just essentially business people. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe sports people, you can give them that, but football, I'm not so sure. And if you look, they have put money in their pocket, and they're taking money out of their pocket. But it's the football people who are not doing it right. You know, Edu, your Vinay's, like, I mean, I don't even know Vinay's background in football, to be honest.
Nobody does. He doesn't have one. I don't know his
background, but I know Edu's background very, very well. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're releasing the funds, but then in a mad scale, you're putting, you know, that whole Ozil situation, that whole Ozil cloud, you know, everyone's spoken about the money, but then you look at Willian has come in and kind of replaced that whole money talk with the whole, you know, with Ozil. He's on a high wage, but we are not getting anything back from his wages, and we've got him for another 2 seasons. And is he going to get better over 2 seasons as he's aging?
I ain't seen no evidence to suggest that.
There's no evidence. There's no evidence. So that's just another dumb thing that we have to deal with. And then that's another 2 years we've got to wait for that to come over and done with. You know, and I think like Laka, I love Laka, but I always say to you, Bob, when it comes to sentiments, bro, with Arsenal, I'm done with it. If Laka has to go, so be it. The sentiment is done, because I now got to look at your performance over your period, the period of time you've been at Arsenal. We got you for 50 million. Has it been successful? The answer is no. He's flopped. We never spend that kind of money on a player, and when we do, now you can look back and say, do you know what? He's flopped. Right, this moment in time, he's doing all right. He's doing better than he's done, but it's not good enough for what we expected. So yeah, you show him the door. Aubameyang, we signed him on. We can't even talk about that because he's there for another 2 seasons. But you look at, he's probably justified his signing, his price tag, because he does get goals. Whether or not I disagree with him as a player. He's rated as a player, but his goals in his time there, he's justified his price tag. Do you know what I mean? But it's like my man said, it's all the other players who are coming into that time now, that vital time where it's like, do you renew or do you get rid of? And I think in most cases we end up renewing players because we don't want to sign new players.
Yeah. And I think so. Yeah. What would you do? So what would you do in transfer window? So like in terms of now, we're looking at the squad how it is. You're looking at, because I would say I would put it into 3 bits. There's the youngsters that are coming to the last year of their contract, the Nelsons and Nketiahs, and then you could put Willock and Maitland-Niles in that. There's question marks over them. I'll throw in Mavropanos in there as well, just because he's young.
Yeah,
you've got the prime, the players that should be in their prime now. This is the last big deal: the Lacazettes, the Xhakas, the Bellerins, and you've also obviously got players that you would bring in. What would be your ideal window?
Ideally, I'd want to see players like Nketiah, Nelson gone. I was surprised that them two didn't go on loan anyway, to be honest, with Niles and Willock. I'd want to see that all that 4 gone, because I think that little batch of players, they had their opportunity and they kind of proved that they weren't good enough, innit? Just like the last batch. Remember the last batch with like Gibbs and
Ramsey
and Chambers, all them players. So I reckon these lot haven't worked, and then we've got to kind of put our trust into the new batch, innit? Like ESR, Saka, Martinelli, and then Balogun and Aziz, and honestly that batch come through now. So I'd cash in on them, and then bring back man like Guendouzi. I'd let Torreira go because he's talking like his heart's not in it again.
He's a waste, man.
Yeah, he's an idiot. I don't even
his mom died, to be fair. His mom died.
Yeah, God rest his soul, but he didn't. God rest his soul, but he didn't have to be doing all that online, man.
Yeah,
maybe he's tweaking because he's emotional, but this is a bit much.
I think that we got to give him black for that. But yeah, go on.
I just didn't like the way the way they was talking over it, like too much, man.
I still need to go, man. In terms of Laka,
I wanted to go.
I like Laka, but I think we can't make the same mistake we made in the past in terms of not cashing in, not getting money for our players, isn't it? So I think we've got to sell him. Alba's obviously here to stay. Pepe, we have to just continue on with Pepe, I suppose. And yeah, obviously Luis. I think Luis is going to be gone, but I like Luis. I do like Luis personally, but I think Mari showed that he can kind of fill that void that Luis, because Mari's good on the ball as well, and he's not. Yeah, like he plays quite similar to Luis in terms of like that's the ball to feed the passer and that. But my only issue with that is he's left-footed and Gabriel's left-footed, and Arteta doesn't really like to do that left-footed thing. So that's my only issue. So if I had to choose between the both of them, for me it would be Gabriel, wouldn't it? Like long term. So where does Mari fit in then? You get me? Because holding.
But you also got to remember, like you still need
bro,
holding. I don't. Well, we just gave him a new contract.
So he's not going.
Hopefully they done that to try and cash in, like
cash in. Yeah, I doubt it though. But that, unless somebody new comes in, I don't see it. Yeah.
Chambers, I want him out the fucking door, bro. Open the door for him and shut it behind him, bro. I can't.
So if I ask you the same question, what's your ideal transfer window? Obviously realistic as well, but what's your ideal transfer outs and then obviously ins as well, if possible, or even at the areas?
Outs, I'm outs. Chambers. It's weird. I do like Willock. He does. He's proven himself. He's like Willock has proven himself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you think about the players that we've had gone on loan, usually they've gone out to Europe. And like Reece went Germany, innit?
Yeah.
And he did all right in Germany. He did all right in Germany, but Germany's different. The German league is different from the Premier League. And Willock's gone out, same league as us, and he's proven his worth. Still young. I'll maybe give him one season chance, give him a chance. But Reece has to go. I think I'm done with Reece. But I think
the thing of Willock here, I would rather I'd rather keep Willock around than keep El Neni around. Personally, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know that Willock's got more sale value. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
100%. Yeah, that's right.
But I think the main core of it in the window is looking at the youth system that we've got. I think that's got to play a big part in our season coming forward. You know, I want to see the Balogans and the Azizes. Of course, they're not going to play a big part, but I think they should be given the responsibility to play at least a part.
It'll be hard next year, though, man. With no Europa, it's going to be hard for these kids to games, bro. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, bro, it's going to be Carling Cup. That's it.
Bro, like you look at Nketiah, bro. Like you just got to shift Nketiah out which way and trust in Balogun. Like we ain't got Europa, but there's other competitions they can play in.
Yeah.
When Wenger used to use the Carling Cup as his way to feed the youth into his plans. Do you know what I'm saying? Before Europa, we used to have Champions League, so he used to use that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll use that to see the youth. But for me, most importantly, I think we have a lot of players to get rid of. I think more so than the players that come in is the players that we gotta get rid of. I think I've always been screaming that for a long time. Yeah, you can have new players, but is the players that are currently at the club, the players that we know have reached their capacity of improving. Do you get me? Like the Shakas. I think Mustafi's still on loan, bro.
No, they terminated Mustafi. They terminated his contract. Kolasinac is still on loan.
Kolasinac on loan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so we gotta get rid of him, obviously.
He's got to come back. The Özil thing, I'm not 100% sure whether or not that was finalized. I don't know, but I think that
he's out of contract anyway. He was out of contract anyway, so they terminated it. But I just think they agreed a settlement basically.
I think okay. Because I know we're still paying for his fees. We're still paying for his fees at
I think they just did it over a period.
Yeah.
But for me, I mean, me personally, I would say I would get rid of Laka, Bellerin, and I'd get rid of Laka, Bellerin, and I feel like Nelson and Nketiah, they would have to go as well for me. I've got a question mark over Maitland-Niles and Willock only because, similar to what you said, I would prefer Willock or a Maitland-Niles to El Neni, but I know that they have a resale value in this league, so you could probably get 20-25 mils. So if I would probably get rid of one, maybe I would say Maitland-Niles, he don't seem to gel with Arteta. So maybe you say, all right, cool, Maitland-Niles, you go. Even though I like him, I think he could play centre mid and be a good squad player for the team. But if you get rid of one of them, whatever, and I would bring in I would bring in Samare, and if I could, Samare and Basuma, but maybe Samare and a Burge, I would take that as well. I would
Burge
I
is
would
a baller.
make this is what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. He's a baller. And I would probably say I would make Martinelli, Balogun be behind Aubameyang and bring in another forward stroke winger. Maybe like a Zaha, Depay, that type of player. If you can get him at decent money.
Yeah.
And I would look at a left back. I would probably get a younger left back personally, but I wouldn't mind getting a Van Aanholt who's on a free or something if it means that whatever. I just find them players, sometimes they're on a free, you're going to pay them big wages. If it don't work out, you can't shift them. So I would get a young left back. There's a lot of young good left backs in the championship.
Right back,
I think right back I would sell Bellerin. I already said I would sell Bellerin, and I would probably bring in Aaron. I think he's the easiest to get. Lamptey, I think I would like, but I don't know, the injury that he's got, it makes me a little bit skeptical. And I think Hakimi is going to be difficult to buy because we ain't got no Europe. I just don't see that happening. If we could get him, mate, he would be my first choice. But I just don't see us being able to get him without Europe. And or that Emerson Royal apparently is on the market, but I don't know much about him enough to say that I want him. But I would say Aaron's personally.
Is that Lisbon? Who's Emerson Royal?
He's at Betis.
Oh, Betis, okay.
He's at Real Betis, but he apparently he's one that we're linked with, but I don't know much about him. But I would go with Aaron personally. And I would bring back, obviously, Saliba. I would sell Holding. I think Chambers, personally, because of his versatility, he's low maintenance, and I think he's come in and done all right, and even done all right before he got injured with Emery.
Yeah,
I'd probably keep him.
I don't see it.
I'd probably
I
keep
legitimately
Chambers.
do not see it. I don't see what everyone's
I
seeing.
don't know.
I don't see it.
Hold him for me. I just think I know his heart's in the right place, but I just don't think he's good enough, man. I think you got to get rid of one of them. I mean, I wouldn't lose sleep if it was Chambers, but I think you can get money out of one of them, and it would just be whichever one. I'm not really that fussed, but personally, I think Chambers' versatility makes me prefer him to hold him personally.
100%.
And like you said, if we got Mari, Gabriel, and then we bring back Saliba, and you have a Chambers or a Mavropanos, we probably don't necessarily need another centre back, so we could probably let Luis go about buying one. But it all depends on how much he trusts Saliba. To be honest, we're putting a lot on Arteta, showing that he trusts Saliba, and he's shown clearly before that he doesn't. So that's what I would do. And also Leno, because apparently there was all rumours that he was saying he don't mind leaving, or he was looking like he was going to leave. Mate, I would show. I don't mind. Like, I like Leno, but if he went, I wouldn't like lose. I wouldn't lose sleep.
You'd have missed him.
Like, if we could get a good keeper, apparently we're looking at a Nana or whatever. We get a decent keeper, I wouldn't be that pissed. I think you could replace.
Leno's replaceable.
Apparently Szczesny's going to be on the market as well.
Nah. Don't go back, bro. Might as well go back to Highbury, bro.
Apparently, but Szczesny's been good for Juventus though.
Nah.
I'm not having Szczesny, bro.
Let him be good at Juventus.
He was good for Juventus though, bro.
Let him be good.
It's easy to be good when you got Bonucci and Chiellini and the man in front of you, bro. It's easy to be good.
Yeah, true.
Minimal chances to get me per game. At Arsenal, he's not got to do. Szczesny, he don't feel with no confidence. I'll be honest with you, bro.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Bro, I got
Szczesny as well, though, I think we need a thingy, man. A striker. Like, obviously, I know Abba's saying and stuff, but I feel like he's lost the yard of that sharpness. That
I agree.
I always feel like we've always had like a quick striker. So I like my man at PSV who used to be at Arsenal, Malen.
Oh, Malen. Yeah, he's a good player, bro.
I like him.
But there's strikers about, bro. There's some strikers about at the moment. You got Edouard, Dakar, Malen, Boadu as well, the one that's at Outmar. You've got Isaac at Real Sociedad. There's strikers at the moment that you could get. But I think I really like Martinelli, bro. And I think if you play him through the middle, I really feel like, and I feel like even with Balogun, I feel like in England, we'll see a guy like Edouard. He's just got the chance at Celtic. Like, he was at PSG not getting a kick. He's got a chance at Celtic. I really think between Martinelli and Balogun, we could catch one where it's like we don't actually need to spend. But it really just depends, because some of these guys, there's no guarantee with them anyway. Like, even Malen, bro, in the youth team, he wasn't rated higher than some of these guys. He's just got the opportunity. You see what I'm saying? And that's where I feel like if we give Balogun a chance, man, he looks good, man. Martinelli just I see Suarez in Martinelli so much, man. It's just man. The way, do you know what it is? It's the way he hounds, like he presses, and the runs that he makes is very direct. Like old school Suarez, like old school Ajax early Liverpool Suarez. Like he just hounds, bro. And I feel like you could turn him into a madman. Like, and I think you could transition Aubameyang out and bring Martinelli in.
I just don't think
you could get a wing
out wide, man. I don't think he's got enough out wide.
Who?
Aubameyang.
I
don't see it.
No. I don't mean transition him to play wide. I mean transition him out the team.
Oh, okay.
And then bring in another wide man. No. I think Aubameyang can't play left foot.
He's wasted. He's wasted that wide.
I think he's just. You might as well just play him up front. Just play two up front, and then just say that you're gonna get someone that's floating. I don't like him at all on the left. He can only play through the middle now, in my opinion. But I think you could get a winger. Like, I feel like you could get a winger and have Pepe, Saka, and another quality winger, like, rotate, and you could play with Martinelli and Aubameyang as the two, and Balogun as the free striker. Because I feel like the thing is with him, I like him a lot. I think he's cold, but I feel like injuries is going to play a part with him. And I feel like he looks like a player that when he comes back from injury, needs a couple of weeks to get used to it again and play. And it's just a bit, I don't know. I feel like I feel like I would keep him, but I wouldn't mind getting a Fekir, a DePaul, or even going back for an hour or Bundia after if we didn't.
Where's that leave ESR then?
I think, bro, it's a squad game. I think, bro, Mount. The way I look at it, they brought in Havertz, Ziyech, Pulisic, Werner, all in similar positions to what Mount plays, bro. If you're good enough, you're gonna play. If Emil Smith Rowe is good enough, he'll play. He'll get his games, and also he's another one that's injury prone or that's got an injury in him. He can't play 2 games a week. So personally, I think you bring in one and you just let them compete.
But I worry with that though, Messi, is that we're not gonna have that many games next year, bro. You get me? That's the only thing. It's one game a week.
Bro, Arteta's shown that if Emil Smith Rowe gets injured, we ain't got nothing in there.
Yeah, no, 100. Yeah,
and we're probably gonna let Ceballos go, who I want to let go anyway. But at least he could play there. So if you don't have Emil Smith Rowe, you're playing Saka there. And while Saka plays all right there, it's probably not where you want him to play like long term or whatever. So I would bring in 2 and say that's what we got, and then just have a strong squad. Because even when you look at Leicester, the problem that Leicester have, one of the main problems is that when Maddison gets injured, they don't have anyone else that can come in and fill that position. So I think you have 2 in those positions, and bro, they just compete for their places.
No, I agree.
You get me?
Yeah, listen. I think it's going to be an interesting summer, bro. And I think that I do believe this is one summer where Arsenal are going to be big spenders for some reason.
I agree.
I don't get that. There's nothing there to suggest that this should be the case. Because obviously, history shows that it shouldn't be the case.
Remember that war chest?
Get excited. But this, I'm not gonna lie. I think due to this Super League thing and the pressure that's been going on, I'm hearing that there could be a protest on the last day of the season at the Emerys.
There is one at the last.
So I think it's going to be. I think my man's going to be spending some big money, and if it ain't him, then it's whoever else is coming in. He's coming in with that ambition to spend big in it. So
also this year, I think there's a lot of players. There's outgoings that can actually sell. That's got resale value.
Yeah.
Like you go look, even Nketiah, as much as we don't look at him, he's under 21's all-time scorer. You could probably get 20 mil for him, 20 mil.
Yeah, easily.
With Nelson, you could get a little 15. If Maitland-Niles or Willock go now, you're getting 20, 25 mil.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, and Torreira maybe 10 now because he shot himself in the foot. Guendouzi, you might get 15. Like, there's enough there. And if you sell Lacazette even, you can still get 20 million maybe.
Yeah,
Bellerin, 20 million, 25. That's a lot of money there, bro. Just out of just little squad sales, that's 100 mil. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro. And then if they put their own money, even if they put a little 50 or 100 themselves, bro, if we make the right signings, we could do a right. I just don't trust them. Bro.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't trust.
There's trust in their on what to do and the players that they bring in, and you get me. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
A fool of money.
Yeah.
Always. What was that saying? A fool of money will always something. I forgot to say, bro.
Yeah.
I can't just be fools of money, bro.
A fool of money is still a fool.
Yeah, fool of money is still a fool. Yeah.
Or something like that. You know what I mean? Some money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, bro.
Yeah, man. Nah, seriously. All right, boy, you, man. Let's wrap it up anyway, man. But I'm sure we're going to be talking anyway, man. We got Sunday. We're saying West Brom tomorrow. What you man saying on that game?
Probably beat them 4-0. Don't matter. There's no pressure in it. There's no pressure. When there's no pressure, these guys try and play.
Yeah.
Look at the Newcastle game. Jokers.
Exactly that. I don't even care about the game. I'll watch it, but I don't even. I'm the least interested. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I want to see. I want to see man like Balogun at least in the squad.
Yeah.
At least in the squad. Now he should be looking forward to next season, innit? So yeah, like Balogun should at least be in the squad. But yeah, we'll have to see, bro. We'll have to see. You man, blessed up for the link up anyway, man. Obviously,
bless.
No Europe next year. But yeah, fuck it, man. if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry, bro. You get me? It's one of them ones. Bro. You don't laugh, you're gonna cry, bro. Honestly, I've been dodging phone calls from Man United fans. For days. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bro. Trust me.
Don't, bro.
Yeah, it's mad. But yeah,
anyway, man, give it up Emery to do the fucking Europa. That's my thing now. I'm Team Emery now.
Team Emery.
to do a madness. I know
They're
won't.
gonna slap them 3-0, bro.
But
Man
yeah,
United gonna run up on them, bro.
Run up.
Yeah, it's gonna be a run up. But yeah, you man. Anyway, man.
all right, then bless, my
Every
bro.
time, man. Bless. Run.
Bless.
Don't forget to comment, subscribe.